Welcome back to Hell with the Podcast, episode 19. I'm Tim. I'm here with Daryl, and we're glad to be back with you last week. Sorry we missed you guys last week. I had this thing running through my house. It was started with my son, then with me, then with my wife, and I was on the sofa like for 2 days last weekend, and then my voice was all screwed up and all this
Yeah.
other kind of mess. So it was just like we had to take a break. We had to take a break. Sorry we missed you, but we're glad we're back this week. As always, I'm here with my co-host Daryl. Good morning to you, Daryl.
Hey man, I'm glad to be back. I woke up way too early this morning, but I was stoked to know that we were gonna do this today, and your house was messed up and my house was half messed up. So last week it was just a whatever. What can you do? Everybody's sick, so you gotta kind of make sure everybody's gonna be better.
And then and then too, it's been a few weeks since we recorded on Saturday because last week it was me, the week before it was
Traveling and
traveling and then other things and then things going on with you. So it's kind of good to be back here on our normal time when we
no,
do this to
oh,
be recording.
absolutely. Yeah, back in the groove is great. Yes.
I know. And today, I think we got a good show lined up for you today because we are going to be talking about the album that came out in April 2018, Goddamn Evil. So we're going to go through that album, tell you what we like about it, song by song, like we normally do when we dissect an album and we go through it. But before we start dissecting this song, I want to say this really quick because if we go back to our last episode when we were talking about um the when we were talking, oh my gosh, my mind. I'm
The
still
Christmas
recovering from what I was from how I've been feeling. No more hell to pay. Thank you. There we go. When we were talking about no more hell to pay, one of the things that we did talk about on No More Hell to Pay was the Japanese track that was on there, First Love, and it was an orchestral version of that. And one of our listeners, Soldier, made a comment that I didn't realize, and that is one of the things that I know that Daryl and I will say about our time on this podcast. We love this band. We love Stryper. We love the music that they do. We love the side projects that they do. And but we're not going to know everything 100%. So when we saw this on the orchestral version on the Japanese album track for No More Hell to Pay, we were talking about it as if it was released for that particular album. But what Soldier 7 to our attention was that that was actually a version that Michael Sweet put on his album Touched that he released in 2007. And
Oh my.
so I remember that album, and I will sit there when we were talking about this and when I brought this up to you, like, hey, we somebody brought this to our attention. And I remember where I was in 2007 as a broke radio host in Virginia. And I remember this album coming out. I remember this was really before streaming took a thing for me and listening to an iPod and downloading digital music. Just I was in radio for 5 years, not making any money. So that's why I don't do it anymore. But I remember when this album came out, but I didn't listen to it at the time. And I never really went back and listened to that particular album. So it was just one that was just missing from my radar of what that album sounds like. But I went and listened to the song and I was like, yeah, this song's been around. This song was around 6 or 7 years before they released it on no or before they put it as the track on No More Hell to Pay. But I just want to thank Soldier 77778 for bringing that to our attention. And if we ever say something that is incorrect or you guys know, let us know because we'll
Oh,
sit there and say,
you can fact check us. I mean, because we know stuff, but we don't know all the stuff. So if you know stuff that we don't know, then absolutely make sure that we, put that in our library because, we're doing this podcast about this band. So we want to be, correct about the stuff that we know. But yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. So thank you again for bringing that to our attention. And again, you don't need to go buy the Japanese edition of No More Hell to Pay to hear First Love. You can actually get that off of Michael Sweet's album Touched, and that is actually on Spotify. So if
Right.
you have Spotify, I didn't check Apple and I didn't check Amazon Music. I didn't check those, but it is available on Spotify if you have it. So, and like we said when we talked about that song was it's a beautiful version of that song.
I love the arrangement. I mean, just everything about it is great. I mean, and it's one of my favorite Stryper songs, so I'm not the guy to, like, critique it or anything because 'cause I'm probably just gonna like it anyway, but yeah, no, it's really cool. And it was cool to like, when you hear songs that are already, like, some of your favorite songs and they're, like, kinda recrafted, it's just I mean, it's like kind of you're hearing it for the first time again, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's like I said, I just missed that album because I did hear his. I mean, because a couple of years before that, he came out with. I think it was a couple of years. It's kind of around the same time frame. He came out with hymns, and then I think after that is when they really started getting back into the flux of doing a lot of Stripe albums, and I just missed it. And like I said, I knew it was out, but I just never
Right.
went back and listened to it. So
I
so
think
now
I've
it
listened Yeah, I think I've listened to it once, so now that we're talking about it, I need to go listen to it again.
I know, exactly, same here, but again, thank you, Soldier 7778 for bringing that to our attention, because if we do say something that's incorrect, we do wanna make sure that we correct it and make sure that we're steering the listeners into the right direction of where you can get this. So if anybody went out and bought off of eBay, the Japanese edition, I'm sorry. You could have gotten it off of
Spotify.
Touched by, Michael Sweet, so there we go.
Well, hey,
But
uh,
but other things
alright.
going on, looking at the Stryper news desk this week, before we get into Goddamn Evil, we talked a lot about this, the last half of 2025, the greatest gift of all. Now it's like, okay, that album's kind of off the shelf. It's gonna go back on,
On
it
the
was off
shelf.
the shelf for a while. Now it's going back on the shelf, but once Christmas comes around next year, I'll be able to pull it out and showcase that album again. I had a lot of fun listening to that album. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I told Daryl that we had heard our 6 year old singing. It was like one time we went up into the living room and he was falling asleep in our room that night, but he went up into we were in the living room and then all of a sudden we just heard him belting out. I mean, I'm not just saying like softly singing himself to sleep. I mean, he was singing it, maybe even screaming it, "Go Tell It on the Mountain," and not "Go Tell It on the Mountain," the church children's version, but he was doing the fluctuation of the vocals just like Michael Sweet was or does on that song. So I was sitting there listening to him sing it, just cracking up. It was just so hilarious to hear him sing it like that.
That's so great that that song is on that record because I mean, it's like every '80s church kid knows that song,
Yeah.
and they did a good job of covering it, so yeah, I'm not surprised that was kicking it on that song, but, I mean, it is a good cover, but, like, it's a kinda surprising thing that ended up on the record, I think.
Yeah. But again, but what I was going to talk about too with the greatest gift of all, it got some really good reviews and Striper shared them this week or the week before. It was December 29th. Again, we're running a little bit behind on a couple of things that we have since we missed last week. But if we go here, I'll just share them up on the screen with you. I mean, Metal Shock, the greatest gift of all of it is a festive, unusual album, perfectly suited for those who want to decorate their tree without sacrificing riffs. I mean, just
That's a
coming
good
from them
line.
back in rock. This is a great album, and there's no metal band more suited to it. The sound is typical Striper, and I think fans will appreciate it. Lots of music. Very good album that brings us the joy of the holiday season with a great dose of that signature Striper heavy metal sound,
Yeah,
which is great.
absolutely.
And then adding a hard rock metal spin to familiar holiday classics along with Sweet's distinctive voice works well. The greatest gift of all could well become a holiday staple for rock and metal fans, which I know for me,
Yeah,
it's going to become a staple in my
I
holiday
think
Christmas listening.
I think for me, the way they kind of, massaged, like, the traditional stuff was I won't say impressive, but it was a fresh take on songs that you've been listening to for your entire life. And but the originals were really good, very metal, very Christmas, very metal. So I'm all about it. But I did think the way they arranged and kind of recreated some of the traditional stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is. And the new songs or their songs, all of them were good. The remake of Reason for the Season, and then also too the traditional songs like he did. Because if you haven't listened to it, it's Go Tell It on the Mountain, Little Drummer Boy, Winter Wonderland, Silent Night, and I'm missing the other one off the top of my head. That's only four. Silent Night.
What is the other one? Because that's the one that I was thinking of.
Oh, well, I'll think of it here in just
We'll
a minute.
figure it out.
One of the
Anyway,
things too that was interesting about this particular album, and I can't remember if I read it or if I heard it, but I want to make sure I get this straight too, was that somebody asked, or Michael Sweet, I think, was talking about some people had said, what about Oh Holy Night or that particular song? What about that song for you guys? Well, he actually, the album I was talking about earlier on Hymns, has that song on Hymns. So
oh,
it's the closing track on Hymns. So there is another Christmas song,
interesting.
and I've listened to Hymns or Hymn quite a bit. So if you haven't listened to that one, it's a remake or his take on a lot of classic hymns that you grew up in church with. And so one of the songs on there was Oh Holy Night. So there is that Christmas song as well on that one. So, because some people were saying, well, what about this song? He was like, well, I did that one myself so many years ago. So
Wow. Man, when did that thing come out? That thing's
that came
old.
out '05 or '06. I don't remember the
Yeah,
exact year.
I was like, yeah, that thing's old because I remember it.
20, 20 plus years ago.
Yes.
20 years ago. If it was '06, it was 20 years ago. So,
Yeah.
but
Every everything's old. Anyway,
I know. But something new going on with them right now is that they're in the recording studio
they
and
are.
they one of the statements that Michael had mentioned back on New Year's Day is he goes, "This particular album is going to upset even their worst critics." And he said, "Why? Because they'll finally have to say something other than Stryper sucks."
Dude, he's putting himself out there on the press that I've seen because he's like, yeah, this is gonna be the best thing ever. And I mean, I'm already a fan. I don't need you to like, sell me on your stuff. But if it's not awesome, he's gonna feel the hatred.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it goes back to, as you say that, I think it goes back to what he does and the band does, just in everything they do. They always want to be better than the last thing. And so
Yeah.
if you go back and you look at the comments that are made every time they're making an album, this is going to be our best album and this is going to be our best album. And I think when you do things like that, and if you're going to still be creative and you're still going to continue to make music, you almost have to have that mental edge to say this is going to be the best thing we ever did, because if you don't have that, then you're just kind of folding it in. You're just kind of just doing it to do it without doing something new and relevant and making it the best you have,
Yeah.
the best that you can.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're not trying to raise your bar, then we're just gonna do the same thing that we've been doing, then what are you doing? And there's a million examples of that, but I don't think this band's ever been that way. They always want to improve and they always want to raise the bar. So I mean, part of the reason we're doing this, out of because I mean, I respect this band because they always try to, and especially Mike always tries to make things better than the last thing that they did.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And I mean, he actually says this in this post. He goes, "I'll tell you this album is absolutely stellar. I know I always say this, but I'm telling you, it's a very special album. The songs are killer. It's fresh, powerful. This one may very well go down in the history books as our very best." And it
It's funky to hear him like say stuff like that because he's never been a big ego guy. He's just gonna prove, here's the music. I'm not gonna tell you how great it is, but yeah, sometimes when I see stuff like that, I'm just like, he's he has a little bit of rock star in him, of course, but he's not a I've never known him as like somebody that had like a giant ego. I don't know. Just an opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's more ego or if it's just really this is our best material ever, and I
Confident.
really think you're gonna. I really think you're gonna like it, and I think it goes back to what I was saying just a second ago. In my opinion, is that he just really believes that everything he does. I mean, you and I have talked about this, and we're going to get into it more next week when we talk about this particular album next week. But we're going to take it. We're going to move from kind of give you a clip of what we're going to do next week is that we're going to go do Sweet and Lynch's second album. And you and I have already talked about it because I've been listening to it the past few weeks, and I've just been like, I think I like this one better than the first one.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
really
yeah.
liked the first, and I'd listened to him before, but when I was listening to them close together like that, I started thinking, I think I like this one. And I just think that's just the thing he does. It's always going to be a little bit better.
I'm interested that you think that, 'cause I think the second one is heavier than the first one, but that's another conversation for another day.
Yes. And then we are going to, but talking about heavy songs, you're probably going to be very disappointed in my least favorite track on Goddamn Evil. And I will
You know
tell
what?
you,
You know what? I'm not sure that that's gonna I'm very interested to see what your list is, but you might be surprised in some of the stuff that I have ranked in a certain way, so, alright, let's move forward.
yeah. So Goddamn Evil, as I said earlier, came out April 20th, 2018. Now, a lot of people think with this particular album, because this was after all of the Tim Gaines left, they brought Perry on. Perry officially, from what I've read, joined the band in October of 2017. But due to scheduling conflicts, he did not play bass on this album. The bass was played by John O'Boyle.
Charlie Boyle. Which was Mike's basically Mike's solo when he did solo stuff, that was his guy. But I was when I was listening to this, I was like, there's some nice bass work going on here, and I could have swore I thought it was Perry, and I actually had to go look it up, and I I was like, I don't know this dude, but yeah, he's basically the bass player on all of Mike's solo records.
Yeah, and yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, when I didn't do the research on who John O'Boyle was, so I'm glad that you did that. But when it came to this album, you know, he was part of the band and he just like I said, he was I think if I remember correctly, he was actually touring because I remember seeing a documentary. Perry Richardson was touring and it was with not a documentary, but it was like one of those TV
Hired gun
series with Craig Morgan, who was a country artist. And I remember Craig Morgan kind of looking at him and saying something along the lines, "Yeah, he's leaving us to go play rock or something like that." I mean, it's been years since I've seen that particular episode, but I remember they were talking with Perry because he was getting ready to leave because he was going to join Stryper at the time, but he played with Craig Morgan for a while. But the thing is, when you look at this is what I was digging for right here. When you pull out Goddamn Evil, you do have Perry in there as part of the band because he was part of the band when it came out, but he didn't play bass on this particular album.
Right, and that was surprising because I mean, when I was listening to it, because I'm always listening to the bass and the drums, and so I went and Wikipedia is like, all right, personnel. It's like I don't know this dude. So, but yeah, he's basically the bass player on all of Mike's solo records, but and he's a phenomenal bass player, of course. But yeah, I had fun listening to their percussive aspects on this because it does get, like, a little tribally. It's I mean, there's some spots where the drums and the bass kinda take over the song for a minute, so I enjoyed that, but anyway.
But before we get into talking about this album, and as I started thinking about this, I was sitting there going, we still need to figure out when we're going to do the controversy album because once
This will be at the
once
top of the list.
yeah, because once they once they said what the title was, you can imagine what happened. Goddamn
Well
evil. And
once Walmart takes you off the shelf, I mean, it's kinda on as far as controversy goes.
yeah, because Walmart took them off the shelf because of it, because the retail giant refused to carry the album in its stores, citing concerns over the title. But let's go put other albums or books in the stores, I mean, and stuff like that. And of course, doesn't surprise me, but some Christian retailers, Christian bookstores didn't carry it as well.
That's stupid, but
But I think the thing is, and I think this is just what frustrates me as a fan of this band, especially a band that has been around as long as they have been. And it's just, do you really think that a Christian band or a band that is, I try not to say Christian band, but a band that is compromised of guys in the band that are Christian are all of a sudden going to go use goddamn like that
right.
and the quote, what we would consider possibly the incorrect way of using it. Because if you look at it and you listen to it, you listen to the song, Michael Sweet, just some things that I pulled up was the literal meaning they explained at the title wasn't a swear word, but a literal prayer request asking God to condemn or damn the evil in this world. But
Yeah,
it's just like we just
it's
get
a
so
verb.
we just get so people can just get so tripped up over that and like, oh my gosh, they're saying God damn. And they're not. They weren't. And people just
There's a comma there. God damn evil.
well, it's not
And
on the it's not on the title. The comma's not on the title.
well, I'm just saying
But I know
that's
what you're
how it
saying.
should have been presented. But I mean, yeah, they're not just being profane. It's actually, and Mike said so, I can't remember where the interview was from. He's like, it's a prayer request.
Yeah.
So I mean, and so yeah, the whole thing with it, I just, especially with Walmart, it's like y'all are the most country company besides Chick-fil-A probably in the world. So maybe reanalyze your opinion on this.
Yeah. And I mean, then you had accusations of blasphemy and marketing gimmicks and all this other kind of stuff. And but it's just when I saw it, I didn't think it was a marketing gimmick. I didn't think that because I took the time to try, I took the time like, okay, when I first heard it, it didn't make me go, oh my gosh. It just went, well, that's an interesting title choice. Let me find out more about it. Because I already knew that it was going to create some controversy because people just love to stir up crap and go down some way. And I'm just like, okay, let's find out what the lyrics are in the song. Let's find out what the band has to say. And so, I mean, but even when I first heard it, I was okay with it because I knew because I'd listened to this band so much that it was not intended in any blasphemous way. So I wasn't offended by it when I heard it.
Right. No, that's the thing there. I mean, as you and I as fans, we know the backbone of this band. It's like they're not gonna just push out some ish that is blasphemous or just profane or whatever. That's not how they roll. So when we hear that, it's like, all right, we need to dig into this a little bit because it is controversial and a lot of I'm sorry, we're smart people. A lot of people will not bother to dig into the weeds with a song or a band or whatever. It's like, oh my gosh, they said GD, so we can't put them on our shelves. Whatever. It's stupid because if again, we know the history of this band, and it would be ridiculous for them to actually come out and just start cursing on a record for no reason.
Oh, I know. And then it just makes you think back to what we have talked about already is on previous episodes when we both you got sent home because of to hell with the devil. I had to turn my t-shirt inside out. Could you imagine if it was the 80s walking into school with this title track? They probably would have lost.
Oh my gosh.
Not only would you have been suspended, you probably would have been expelled. I mean, I would have been suspended for wearing something
I
like that.
I wish I was in high school when this record came out because I absolutely would have worn this shirt to school. But
So
yes, I did.
it's
Yes, for a recap, I did get kicked out of high school because I had a "To Hell with the Devil" shirt on. But hey,
well,
I don't care.
as I've already said before, the state of Georgia wouldn't let me put THWTD on my license plate.
That's right.
So I'm like, seriously?
Well, we live where we live. All right, so
I know. But let's get into the music on
let's
this one.
get into this.
This
Yeah,
album
happy hour in.
had 11 tracks on it.
Yep,
And I like this album. In the
I do
back
too.
half, in the back half of their catalog, I have a couple albums that I listen to a little bit more regularly than this particular album. But again, I think when they came out with this album, they put this album out, they hit it right on the mark because there's just so many, to me, it's just essential Stryper throughout this album. You've got some really hard stuff on it. And I tell you what, some of the songs that they do off of this album live are just some of my favorite songs by them because I love it. They just incorporate sorry every single time they're on tour now, it seems like. And I just absolutely love that song off of this album. But again, I just think they just put out another great album with this one. Controversy aside, I think it was a very solid album. There, like I said earlier, there's one song that hits the bottom of my list on this particular album. And I'm not saying I don't like the song, but I really have to be in the mood to listen to the song. But before we start going that way,
Interesting.
what were your thoughts on the album when you first heard it and when you re-listened to it again?
I when I re-listened to it, because I think now that we're doing this, my ear is a little different. So I'm listening to obviously the percussion and the guitars and all that stuff, but I'm paying more attention to the vocals. And there's a couple songs on here that just like, man, it kind of hit me because and not for nothing, I'm going through some physical stuff right now, and so some of these things hit me in the feels a little more than normally maybe. So yeah, when I was re-listening to this, of course the metal's coming to the front, but there's also a couple things that's like, huh, that probably wouldn't hit the way it hits, but this week it hits like it hits. So
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is solid, and the vocal performance and the the vocals in general are. I mean, I don't have a skipper on this one, but I mean, just I love how they work the vocals, and there's these biblical references, and just I don't know. I really feel this is very very solid record.
Yeah. And like you said, lyrically too, when you talk about the music, I mean, I think about I think about the closing track on this album. You know, the devil doesn't live here. And then he goes, the devil doesn't live here, only Jesus. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, okay, the lyrics are just straightforward. They're
No, that
bold.
thing is
They're
yeah,
still
there's nothing, nothing that's, hidden in that song, and
because I
yeah.
tell you that this is the thing. As I sit here and I think, and I may misspeak on this, but as I just sit here and think off the cuff, this is why I some of the songs on the back half of their the second half of their career versus what they did in the 80s. Because I mean, you could tie up, honestly, you can make that a song about however you want to interpret that song, meaning calling on you. Who am I calling on? Again, kind of interpret it any other way. But then when they do ballads like Can't Live Without Your Love, this is, it's directly tied to their spouse, versus, so there's no trying to, well, what are they saying with this lyric? They're just bold up front, like, hey, you know, devil doesn't live here, only Jesus. And when they do a ballad, typically it is going to be straightforward about their wives or something along those lines where it's really a very emotional type song where there's no need for interpretation behind it. I mean, I know the ballad on Even the Devil Believes is This I Pray, but it's the ballad, the lyrics are straightforward.
Well, it's the evolution also of Stryper because when they would do a ballad, you didn't know what the heck it was who it was directed to. All right, is this a praise song? Are we talking about our girlfriend? I mean, but I feel like now it's more honed in on what they're writing about and the lyrics on this record. It's like it's heavy, but there's some things on here that like, and we can get into the track by track, but I mean, there's some stuff on here that really did hit me in the heart, and it not for nothing. I mean, I'm a little more vulnerable right this second because of health stuff. So some of the stuff just hits me a little harder than normal, which is totally fine. But yeah, I mean, some of the as I was listening to it, the vocal performance and the vocal content are both, man, really strong on this record.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And unlike you, you said that you have, I'll just go ahead and start with, my number 11 on this album. Like you said, you didn't have a skipper on this album. There is one song on this album. I'm not going to say I don't like it, but I'm going to say I have to be in the mood to listen to it because it's just and the song. I mean, you're going to know what the song is. Lyrically, it's a great song, but I have to be in the
Take it
mood
to
to
the
listen to it
cross.
because it's just never been my style. And I'm not saying, because I know some people either really love this one or they hate it. They'll never listen to it. For me, I find myself having to be in the mood to listen to it. So when I pull out this album, I'm like, do I want to listen to this one or do I want to go to the second track right away?
Let's
So
take it
for
to the
me,
cross.
at the bottom of the list is Take It to the Cross.
Okay. I mean, the chorus is weird. I'll give you that. Because it's not Stryper style, you know, greatly arranged with multiple vocal parts and all that stuff. The chorus itself, it is a thrash style. So, I mean, I, I can understand why that's on the bottom of your list.
I mean, for those that don't know me, thrash is not my thing. And then the growl that's in the song, I got to give it to him for doing something different with the song. And for
Yeah.
me, I'm not saying I hate it. It's just not my style. And it's just not something. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a listen this time. But I do find myself typically on the side of if I pull this out, I'm going to
We're going to
song number
sorry.
2.
I mean, I totally understand what you're saying because yeah, this chorus is it's a see, this is a Stryper song.
See, I love this. This I
Right.
love. And I love how they go into the intro of it. Like with these background vocals right here.
Well,
But
this goes back to what I say about their influence from British heavy metal because this is like this is Judas Priest or Iron Maiden. But yeah, once you get to the chorus, it gets intense. But hey, I don't hate it because if you can do something that has a different flavor to it, then go, man. I don't have a problem with it at all. They're over here.
yeah, when it gets right
Yep,
here
we're right here.
at the chorus.
I mean, this
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a Stryper song.
No, it doesn't. And it's just different. And like I said, just the growl. It's just never when they really get into that towards the end of the song, it's just never been my thing. Cause I mean, at first it's like, yeah, and then it's like, wait, what? I mean, it's just kind of like that's just where my mind goes. Again, don't hate it, because I will listen to it. But it's
This-
just
The main parts are they sound like Stryper, but when you get into the choruses, that's where it gets kind of funky. So yeah, I totally understand why you would say that.
so that's where Take It to the Cross lands for me. Some people may not agree with that as they listen to this, but for me, that's just where this particular song landed. Because I mean, I would sit there and say, outside of when we talked about Against the Law, this is probably the first song that I have said that I will actually skip on an album.
Okay, that's a strong statement.
Because I mean, the guitar here, I
When you
mean,
get to right here, oh, come on, that's a Stryper song.
yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And I mean, don't like that I don't like this one more. I just sometimes I have to be in the mood
Well,
for it.
it's okay, man. You can have your flavor, whatever the heck. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not a big deal. So, is that at the bottom of your list?
Yeah, this one's at the bottom of my list for this album.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit you with Sea of Thieves at the bottom of my list because there's there's a lot of good stuff on this record, and I think this one just kind of and the lyrics are good in this song too. I just compared to everything else, as we always say, Got to go somewhere. It's just kind of basic. I don't know. It didn't hit me the way things usually hit me when I didn't have any like emotion behind it. So I'm just like, well, I guess got to go at the bottom compared to everything else, because I have reasons and notes for every other song except for this one. So it's just kind of whatever. So I don't know how
this
you
one.
feel.
Yeah, I mean, this one actually ranks as number 10 on my list. So it was last for you. It's next to last for me. Kind of the same thing. It's just I like the song. I'll listen to it. I'll jam to it. But there's just other songs on this particular album that I just enjoy more. So that's just where I ended up with this particular list.
Yeah.
With this particular song.
Yeah, I agree. I just think everything else was better. I mean, this isn't a bad song. It's just there's so much more things that are better.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. And I read where some people, can give or take this song, maybe for the same reasons that you and I, but for me, it's not a skipper. I mean, I think it's a good song, but there's others. Apparently you and I both like more. So that was number 10 for me with Sea of Thieves.
Okay, so yeah, we're not far
So what
apart
did
on
you
that.
have at number 10 then?
Man, I am shocked that it starts getting hard at number 10. I was like, "Are you serious, dude?" It's like, because I was making my list, and I'm like, "This song cannot be at number 10. It's Sorry."
Oh, wow.
No, I agree. And part of me when I was making the list is I've been, like I say, been going through some physical stuff and whatnot. And when you're like a guy and you're not producing and not producing as much as you would be, you feel like you have to apologize to your spouse. So I've been saying sorry a lot. And she wants to punch me in the face. But that being said, it's still the same thing. And I hate the lyrics to this chorus. I was listening to it and I was like, okay, song title is Sorry. All right, so let's dig in here. These lyrics are teasy. You could be more charming. I mean, I guess I probably needed to dig in a little bit more to the history of when they were writing this, because I'm not sure who this is pointing at. I don't know if they're pointing it at a politician or I'm not sure. But when I started like digging into the song, I was like, these lyrics are cheesy, dude. And but no, like I was saying, I've been like saying sorry a lot, just because physically, just not 100% right now. So when I started digging into it, I was like, God, these lyrics are kind of cheesy. That's why it's where it is.
Yeah, I would say for this particular song that it's probably, if you watch the video of the song, it's relational between male, female. So it's more, to me, I've always taken it as a relational song. Like, this dude screwed up right. And but if you were like this, then you wouldn't have to say you're sorry. So I've always kind of taken it like that, but no. And I just not that well, for me this one's ranked higher, so we'll get to that in just a moment. So
we can rate them. Yeah,
we can rank them wherever we want to. It's our
yeah,
opinion.
no, I was surprised. I was surprised where it ended up actually at the end of the day, because I was like, wait a minute, I really like this song. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's where it landed.
So after Sorry, what was number 9 for you?
9 for me was Take It to the Cross. I love, obviously, I love the heavier stuff than you do, but it sounded I just like the flavor of, like, let's do something a little different. So, because if you're looking at a Stryper song, it's got components and it's kinda gonna be it's a template. Take It to the Cross for me, the chorus was something they hadn't done before, so I was intrigued by that, and I like the verses. I mean, it's a good song. It's just a little different than what they usually do.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Take It to the Cross a little bit when I ranked it at number 11 on this particular album, so
It's all good. I mean, it's a funky if you're a Stryper fan, it's a funky flavor to get into with this song. I mean, it's not something that they normally do, so, hey, but that's a good thing.
yeah, and I mean, as you sit here and you start to talk about, I already had Sorry, I mean, this was my number 10 song. I mean, that's how I kinda start to feel when I get to, um, number 9. It's like, "Good gosh, this is already ranking at number
Right.
9
Right.
versus" and on any other given day, on any other given week, again, I was listening to these albums when I wasn't feeling my best, or listening to this album when I wasn't feeling my best. Because we were gonna do this episode last week, but I just couldn't pull myself together. So it was like, maybe I would rank them differently, but this is where they are. As I always say, this is where they are today.
Well, we
But for
we
me,
do this ev we do this every week. It's like, this might
yeah,
change next week.
yeah, I know. But coming in at number 9 for me was the song "Own Up." I mean, I love the opening it's just it's gotta fall somewhere.
Well, this one for me, I mean, the lyrics for this is one of those ones where I'm like, the song is good, the lyrics are better. So, when I was doing my homework, earlier, um, it's like, it's "Own Up." I mean, the title is just right there, and
Yeah.
listen to the lyrics, and it's like, okay, this is what it is. So,
I
I
know
mean,
it's a very lyrically, like you said, it's a very own up, face what you've done, deal with it. It's very strong lyrically, it's very strong musically, but as I've said, there's just other albums, I mean, other songs on this album that I listen to a little bit more. I mean, I can't pick apart. I mean, going from this song to number 1, there's really nothing I can pick apart. Like
right.
there
That's hilarious that you say that because, yeah, I'm kind of there with you. But don't pick up the phone and tell me it wasn't me. I mean, there's some lyrics in here that are just like, I mean, not well, hilarious is the wrong word, but there's some there's some really heavy lyrics in here. It's like, man up for your stuff, and you know, take off your mask and all. There's some really good lyrics in the song. I don't know. It's and then Mike's vocals are stupid as usual. They'll
number 9, what'd you have at 8?
So God bless, dude. This is where it gets murky at number 8, and that's tells you how good the record is. I'm going with the title track. So going with Goddamn Evil. And part of it with this song, because my wife and I were talking about this the other night, because I was listening to stuff because I knew we were going to do this, and she was like, why are they, what is, she was asking me kind of to break the song down a little bit, and I was like, I understand why this was controversial, but if you just listen to the freaking thing, if you listen to the thing and you understand a minimal amount of biblical principles, you will understand what they are saying. And she was like, "All right, so they're saying goddamn evil, goddamn the world," and I was like, "Yeah." So, and we had like a conversation about it. It was actually really fun, but she once we were done, she's like, "All right, cool. I understand the controversy, and I understand what they were saying." And I was like, "Well, good. Then we, we've come to a conclusion here." So, but I mean, yeah, it was. I don't know. It was just. I think her thing was like, "Why would you come out with a song called Goddamn Evil?" And I mean, on its face, you wouldn't. But if you're trying to actually say something, then let's get in the weeds with it a little bit and talk about it. I don't hate this song at all, but it's just like we were saying before, it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, because I mean, you listen to this song, you listen to the it's goddamn evil, goddamn it all, but God save the people. Right there, you can see why they were interpreting this as a prayer, because it was like, get the evil out. Because I mean, you look at the lyrics, we open locks and break the chains to let the devil in. We're losing all of what remains. So it's like, condemn it.
Yeah, the
damn
lyrics
it.
are strong on this song. I mean, they are really great. It's just the title that scares people.
Yeah. And then when you put into the lyrics and you're actually saying goddamn evil, and typically when usually people use this as blasphemy or taking the Lord's name in vain, they'll usually say God damn it. And then you have in the lyrics, God damn it all, then it really, if you're not paying, like if you don't have the conversation you and your wife did, it ends up being people can take it completely wrong.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't have this problem with just Stryper. I think I have it more with music fans. It's like, all right, if you have a opinion about sitting here looking at Prince's Sign of the Times record, it's like, you have a problem with the Prince song, maybe do a little bit of digging on why you don't like it or whatever. It's just, I don't know. Uneducated music fans piss me off. So it's just, if you're gonna be pissed off about a song, kind of get into the weeds a little bit. I mean, sitting here listening to if I was your girlfriend this morning, which is a wild song, but yeah, it's like, okay, I don't like this song. I was like, okay, why don't you like it? Go find out why you don't like it. Go get some history. Go get something. Go get some knowledge. And I just feel like a lot of people just don't do that.
No, I'd agree with you. I
So,
would agree with you on that.
anyways,
So that was your number 8. My number 8, I love this song,
all right.
but my number 8 was Beautiful.
Wow. That's gonna be an interesting change up in our list.
You got this one. I'm taking you got this one higher.
Way higher. And
again,
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I can't find anything that makes me not like this song. And, now I'm sitting here listening to this, and as he comes in vocally, I like it. I mean, I actually love it. And like I said, at the time, it's got to fall somewhere, because, I mean, when I listen to it, it's solid. It's a melodic hard rocker. You would think that this would kind of fall in the vibe that I usually like, but there are some things that I like a little bit better on this album. And I mean, those background vocals right there where they were going before they get into the chorus, it's just, I mean, I think they're done excellent on this song. but I think it's got a, you know, signature chorus from them. But that's just where I landed up on this one.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I think I'm just like kind of in a weird emotional state, and I have a dad with two daughters, and so when I think about this song and I listen to it, it speaks a lot to mental health and a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love this song. So it's yes, it's very much higher on my list, and I don't think it's just because of the emotional crap. I mean, it might be, but it does speak to a lot of stuff. Because I mean, it does speak to a lot of mental health issues and that kind of thing, which I'm very aware with my whole family. So yeah, but it is a good song.
Yeah, and I see what I mean when you're talking about the lyrics, and I can completely understand, rating this one higher, because it's like, because so many people can have so much self-doubt or just, low self-esteem, and it's just like, in this particular song, he is calling out, no, you are beautiful. You've got, something special inside of you. So I can totally get
there's a
why
lot
this one's
there.
going to be higher for you.
Yeah. So, all right, that's cool.
What about number 7? What did you have at 7?
Well, let's go to the Valley, because I love a good Bible story song. So, I love this song. It's I love anytime, like, I was on Instagram the other day and somebody did like a deep dive into Metallica's Creeping Death, because it's the story of Exodus. So the song itself is just like, all the plagues and, let my people go and all this kind of stuff. And it was like basically just a whole reference of just Exodus. And this isn't quite so detailed, but I love the biblical references, and it's also like a very positive song. I mean, and the other part of it is, it's not so much guitars and all the drums and all that stuff. They're just it's really rudimentary. Basic is the wrong word, but I just like the fact that it's pretty basic, but it tells a great story.
Yeah.
So
I've got this one a little higher, not much higher, but I do have this one a little bit higher on my list.
Well, it's chunky, and it's kind of in my wheelhouse, but I do, like I say, I think I've listened to the lyrics on this record maybe more than any record that we've listened to that I haven't memorized. So, I love this song. It's just, I like the fact that it tells a story. There's a narrative there, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does. And just a different, like you've said, the Bible references that they pull out on this particular song. It's just, anytime they have those type of songs, it's gonna be one that I dig when it comes to a song lyrically. So
right,
but I mean, my number 7, and we don't have to rehash it because we just talked about it just a couple of seconds ago. But my number 7 ended up being "Goddamn Evil."
Okay.
So I just love the opener of it. It's just kind of like, you can just kind of start bobbing or banging your head right immediately to the opening of the song. Lyrically, it's good, but it's ranked at number 7 for me.
Well, and it shows you the strength of this record too, because that's the title track, and it's in the middle of both of our lists. So
yeah.
But I get it though. All right, so what else you got?
Okay, going with number 6. I'm looking at my list here. Where did it go to? Number 6 for me. Where's it at? Yes. No, that's not number 6.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I think number 6 for me is going to be, as much as I love this song, and I almost don't want to say that it's number 6 at the moment, but it's Can't Live Without Your Love. Because I love this as one of their ballad songs. It's one of my favorites, but I think it's got, for me, it's definitely not one of the rockers on the album, but I love this song. And again, stuff has got to start falling somewhere.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, let's see. Went that blah 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 blah. Let's see. I'm trying to see where it was, but I went through the vocals on this. I was like, okay, this song's kind of basic, but I mean the vocals on this whole record are so well written. When I listened to when I was making my notes, when I was doing You Don't Know Me, I was like, well, the vocals are killer, and the content of the vocals are also killer. So yeah, it's higher on my list than yours.
But I love this part right here when they comes into the chorus and they say woman. I love the emotion that's behind that part of the song.
Yeah, it's a love song. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, like I say, it's a love song, so it's cool to listen to stuff like that. Because I mean, I don't know who's writing love songs anymore, but this was one that definitely pulled me in because I was oh wow, man, we are out of sync on our list. That's great.
Which is interesting because on No More Hell to Pay, we were pretty much in sync, maybe a song or two off.
Yeah. So yeah, this one's definitely going to be interesting because you got a couple that you didn't bring up yet that I know are still out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, this is a great song because I mean, if I was like gonna take my wife out and give her, candles and flowers and all that stuff, I could see this as kind of being a decent date night song, maybe. I don't know. I'm usually not good at that, but there's another one on my list that would be better. But
got it.
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyways,
need some mixtape help for your date nights, Daryl?
Dude,
I'll build you a mixtape.
Like I can't do that. Well, Rebecca revealed that our anniversary's on February 16th. She's like, I got us reservations at a restaurant you've never been to. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Because we've been to every restaurant in Atlanta. So she's telling me that there's a surprise somewhere.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, if you don't know where you're going, that makes it even more fun.
Oh.
Better get that mixtape ready, man.
Well, what I'll do is I'll make it, and then I'll send it to our driver. Because she always asks what we want to listen to.
That's great.
So, yeah. But
yeah, Daryl is so rich, guys, that he has his own limo driver, his own limo fleet. And just kidding.
Stop. Dude, I ain't got jack right now, but I mean,
what did you have at number 6?
All right, yeah, let's move on. All right, let's see. Well, shoot, we already talked about Own Up because that's what I have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we talked about Own Up earlier.
We can move out of that. Let's move up one more. My next one is Lost. Because Mike's vocals are just, what are you doing? in that chorus. I mean, and again, the vocal content is really great. He's just like, "Are we lost?" And it's like, I mean, you might not be wrong, but geez, dude, his his vocals are just ridiculous on the song, especially in, I mean, in the chorus. It's like, what are you doing? It's and I don't know. It it's kind of mind-boggling because once you get there, it's just like, wow, you're going 3 octaves.
See, that's what I've always loved about this song is when they get into the chorus and he takes that and he just takes that
Oh, yeah.
at what cost and it are we lost at what cost?
Yeah, at what cost? Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, I just always like the lyrics in this thing without all that, but then when you put that, spice on it, it's a thing. So, yeah, that's dang it. Might wanna go. There you are. But, yeah, that's mine, but, yeah, I mean, I just there's a part of me that when I was listening to this, and like I was saying before, it's like, of course, I love the musical performances or whatever, and Mike's vocals are always stick. But this thing, and I'm not sure if I'm wrong but the lyrical content seems to be a little heavier. And I don't know, that's just my opinion, but um, I mean, they're talking about, just kind of stuff all over the place. It's like, I mean, even like Own Up. It's like, you know, show your true self, and then, we'll get to a couple other things, but I don't know. I feel like the lyrical content on this one is a little heavier than usual, I guess.
Yeah. Because what I'm going to do here real quick is we've already talked about the Valley. Valley was number 5 for me, but this song was number 4. And one of the things I really have always liked about this song, as it's coming to the end, and he gets into the "You tell me, are we lost?" and he starts asking that question over again, and just kind of starts driving the song a little bit, here at the end.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I've
totally.
always that's what I've always loved about this song is when they get into, I think it's coming up right here. Yeah, just how the song just kind of drives right towards the end. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
To complement everything that you've already said, I'm in agreement with you on the lyrics, on the songs, on the music on it, the chorus. When they're "Are we lost?" and his range just goes so much higher. But I love
It
the way they closed out that song.
No, it's yeah, the closeout is awesome, but yeah, I mean, listening to those vocals, I'm like, what am I listening to? I mean, I'm listening to like 3 or 4 octaves of this dude singing, and it's just like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not gonna bring it up. It's fine.
Hey, you told me I went there earlier with my thing. You bring it up. You bring it up this time.
Okay. So, my wife is always, like, trying to come up with kinda alternative topics, and she's like, "If you had to replace Michael Sweet and Stryper, what would you do?" And I'm like,
Gotcha.
"Not do it."
I know, not do it to begin with, but he's even put out there like, hey, if I have to at some point, if I don't have that range anymore, I'll go to playing guitar and we'll bring somebody in.
Well, and it was funny because, and she doesn't usually think about things like this. I mean, she's a more of a lyric girl and, this and that, but she's like, "You know who could do that job?" She was like, "Jeff Tate from Queensryche could do that job." I was like, "You might be right," because I hate telling my wife that she's right, but, yeah, we were just going back and forth, and I didn't have a lot of I didn't have a lot of back and forth. She was like, "Jeff Tate." And I was like, "Well, that's probably the answer." But yeah, it was just funny because there was an article that came out that they were bringing some, background vocalists or whatever for whatever they were doing soon, and, yeah, she brought it up. She's like, "Well, who could replace Michael Sweet?" I was like, "Dude, he just projects so hard, and plus he has, like, a 4-octave range." And so I'm like, "I don't know who could do that job." And that was her that was her suggestion, and not a bad one.
Yeah. No, not a bad one. But I know you texted me about that the other day, and I know we can make that a topic of singers that can, if that time ever came, which we hope it wouldn't, but
Hopefully, no. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully
if
don't
that
we
time
won't
ever
have to.
came, but William Hung is still my top choice.
And I wanna punch you for even bringing that into the frame. I was so mad at you when you sent me I was like, "No, this is not."
No, it's not serious. Well, I hadn't had time to really think about it, and I just quickly texted it as a joke. So, but
Oh, I know. Yeah, I
but
know. It was just
but
it was
number
funny.
But so again, your 5 was lost, my 4 was lost. So what did you have coming in at number 4?
You don't oh, yeah, it's, "You Don't Even Know Me," 'cause, I mean, again, it's more lyric than I mean, most songs on this record for me are more lyric than music, actually, which is weird. But yeah, just the power of these lyrics are just it's like you don't know me. So it's like, okay. It's really straightforward songwriting, which is which is what I expect. So but
See,
again,
I
it
like his in this particular one, I like his
and it's
vocals
dirty.
there.
It's a little dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different vibe to this song, but I like like you said, it's dirty, it can be kind of creepy may not be the right word, but it's just different. It's a different kind of vocal track that he's doing at the beginning of this song. But of course, he gets into the
Yeah,
chorus, you're like, yeah, that's Michael Sweet, but it's a little bit different. And that's what I liked. That's what I liked about this song because I've already given my number 4. So my number 3 was You Don't Even Know Me. So to me, it's, I don't know. It's just a different feel of a song, but I love how it just kind of from beginning to end, kind of slow. It's not slow. It's not a ballad. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not the music guy, but it's just kind of just got that slowness, but then it kind of picks up in the chorus a little bit. I just like how it just flows
I know
on
where
this
you're
one.
going.
But again, I mean, you don't even know me, but you think you're a god.
Oh no, this part right here is pretty brutal actually.
If I recall correctly, I'm going into my memory banks.
Okay.
I think at this point, if I recall what he said about the lyrics on this song, it was kind of like people trying to say, this is who you are, like on social media or in writings and people making comments. And he's like what the song says, you don't even know me. How can you say
Right.
this stuff about me when you don't even know who I am? You don't even know how I live or anything like that. And it was really geared towards all the crap and all the junk that has been directed towards him or the band. If I recall correctly, I think that's kind of what lyrically the song was pointing out, was writers, commenters, everything like
Yeah, it
that
was
who were
pointed
just
at
coming
it,
at
it
him.
was it was pointed at media for sure. So yeah, you're right.
So we've kind of been on track with these last few. So what do you have at number 3?
You're gonna be surprised. Oh my gosh, my tablet is acting stupid.
Well, I know the three you haven't chosen yet, so
Well, hold on. I'm sorry. Okay. So yeah, I have my top 3. Did I give you my 4?
yeah, your four was you don't even know me. And that was my
Um,
number three. That's why we're jumping to your number three.
I gotcha. Um, well, then we're out of sync, but whatever. Can't Live Without Your Love is up there.
Okay. Yeah, because that was
I
my
mean,
number six.
that's that's weird, but whatever. But I don't know. I just felt like it was a well-written song and, like I say, just right now, just like, all right, this is a love song, so cool. Actually sent this link to my wife the other day because she doesn't know this song at all. Well, sometimes
Yeah,
you gotta educate educate them.
I know. I know you do. What did I send? I think it's funny that you said that. What did I sent something to my wife too. Let me see what I sent to her. I'm just wondering, did I send her the same thing now
No
that you said
way.
it? My wife and I are always in the same house together for the most part, so
Well,
we
mine
don't
are
text a whole lot.
well, fair
So
enough.
let's see. What link did I send her? Nope, that wasn't it. I sent her a Sweet and Lynch song.
Dude, I can't believe sidebar, and I won't stay on this long. He is playing at a freaking dive bar like 10 minutes from my house.
When is that?
I think it's middle January, but he's doing like a guitar he's doing like guitar
Oh, at the Atmosphere.
yeah, at the Atmosphere, which is dude, it it's not the coolest place to be. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so he
tonight.
is it tonight? Oh my word.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I won't be doing that, but
Yeah, that's tonight.
dang. Eh, maybe Chanel will come get me. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, he's doing a thing where like you can sign up for a package, get a signed GSP guitar, and like a 30 or 45-minute guitar lesson from George Lynch. And I'm just like, in Loganville, Georgia, that we're doing this?
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward. I mean, if you don't know Loganville's what, Daryl? Probably about 45 minutes, an hour outside of Atlanta.
Yeah, it's about 45 to an hour east of Atlanta. It's country. So the fact that Lynch is coming out here to do anything is kind of
Well, it's kind of like when we went and saw the acoustic show and Michael Sweet landed in Abbeville, South Carolina.
fair enough.
That was kind of crazy. That was kind of crazy.
That
Hey,
was well, that was fun though.
but yeah, I mean, with the whole George Lynch thing, I mean, that's just crazy that he's going to be in Loganville. I mean, I saw that not too long ago, and it was just, and I meant to mention it to you because we've been talking about Sweet and Lynch, but I have so much like out of the next 8 weeks, I'm traveling six of them, and it was like trying to pull things together. I was like, oh, that's not going to be a good weekend, so I didn't think about it because I got to travel Monday. Oh,
Man, I'm so like sitting here going, I could go to this, but they have like tiers of like packages and stuff. And I don't need a guitar, but it would be kind of cool to kind of interact with the guy a little bit. But probably not going to happen, but just, you know,
oh,
whatever.
well, don't worry about it. The event is sold out.
Is it
Yeah.
at the Atmos? Golly, that place it is a not a place you want to take your family. I've been there like 2 or 3 times, and it's just like it's a frat bar, basically.
Yeah, I just looked at it because I was just curious what the pricing was gonna be, but yeah, it's it pulled up and said, "Sold out." So, there you go. That made the decision for you.
Well, hey, good for
But, when I'm looking at our list here, talking about goddamn evil, we might
right.
actually land with the same number 1 song, though. It all
I think
depends it all depends on where you put your number 2 because my number 2, we've already talked about it. My number 2 is the number 2 track on this album, which is Sorry. I know that one was kind of down at the bottom of your list, but I always I did like the lyrics. I know you didn't like the chorus. I actually liked the chorus about it because just some things like sometimes the way it hits you. So for me, I actually liked it. And I also just love the beginning part, just that
no,
I mean, you
it's
can just
chunky. No,
yeah,
it's
it's just
chunky. I mean,
chunky.
there's yeah, it's it no, it's a the riff is fine, but once I start digging into the vocal and especially the chorus, I was just like, "Man, this this is kinda cheesy." But right in this part of my life right now, I was like, "Well, I've had to say sorry like a million times, right, in the
Yeah.
last month or so." So, just like it just kinda hit me, but yeah, the vocals are just kind of, they're kinda sappy, but the song's good.
But what did
So,
you have
any
at number 2?
number 2 is Beautiful,
Yeah.
and as a dad of daughters, this song was it hit me pretty hard because it speaks to a lot of mental health issues and just a lot of that kinda stuff, and I'm just like, "Yep, I've been there, and both of my kids have been there." So it's just like, wow, there's some stuff here that, you're beautiful, you're meaningful, and just all the stuff that all the positive stuff, that you wanna tell your children or your whoever you care about. So, um, yeah, actually sent it to my daughter yesterday, my 24-year-old, and so, yeah, she's like I was like, "I know you'll hate this, but listen to the lyrics." So, yeah, she's not a big Stryper fan, but, I was like, "Hey, just listen to it." And so, I mean, it's just it's a pretty song, and there is some depth to it. So, I mean, like I say, the mental health aspect is front facing, so that's why I like it so much, and it's a pretty song. So,
Yeah, it is. It is, and like I said, I hated to rate that one where I did, but that's where it ended up for me last week. Maybe it's because I wasn't feeling beautiful, as I was sitting there sick on the sofa, but,
well, maybe not. We can't always feel pretty.
but this means that
We
we have
have
the
the
same
same
number
number
1.
1,
Yes.
which and this thing just slaps, I'm sorry. Turn it up. I
Where's the
mean,
volume at? I mean,
this song
you've
just
always as you've always said, they have the albums have a hard opener and a hard closer, and this to me is a great
yep,
closer to album. And if you have any
absolutely.
questions about where they stood because of their album title, this is absolutely going to answer that question for you because we've already talked about it earlier, right here. The devil doesn't live here, only Jesus, sold out with no fear, only to Jesus. So, I mean, you can't, there's no question.
Yeah, there's not a lot of, debate about where they stand about stuff. So, it's always nice to I mean, there's nothing about this song, it's like, yeah, you're questioning our beliefs or whatever. No, no, this is what we're doing, and which is another part of the reason that we love this band. But I mean, yeah,
I know
it's
the screams in this one. I mean, if if you're looking for, his vocals in this one, they're kind of gritty in a little bit. They have that kind of grit to them. They're not as, I
they're
may
not
not be
as
using the
sweet.
right words, but they're not as
No, yeah,
polished
no,
and as clear, you know. But it's just got that kind of gritty sound to them, which,
no,
and then
it's got a
this,
little more. It's got a little more dirt to them. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but but then you have this, which is like the solo is just stupid.
yeah,
I think this is one of the harder songs on the. I don't even know what to call it. On the new side of the shit. I'm confused. The new side of the.
of the band.
Yeah, I mean, just the stuff that you are more familiar with than me, but I mean, this song is like definitely one of the hardest songs on that side of the ledger. So, which I have no problem with because I love this song a lot. So, and it's heavy, so I'm good. So, all right, well, that's interesting. We had the same number one,
And
and
ends
that,
with a signature scream right there at the very end.
dude, how do you? Whatever, man. How do you do that? I have no idea, but I'm glad that you can do it.
So we were close on a couple of them, like Sea of Thieves, we ranked near the bottom. Take It to the Cross, we kind of ranked near the bottom. Then when we got into about the halfway way of the album with tracks number 5, you had Lost at 5, I had Lost at 4. You had You Don't Even Know Me at 4, I had that one at 3. So we had some tracks that were similar, but we had some
Well,
that,
you had
like you put Can't Live Without Your Love and Beautiful. What's interesting, because if you look at it, it's almost like based upon where I usually land, I would have probably expected your 3 and 2 to be higher than they were on my list, but that's just where I ranked them this go around.
so you're saying your 3 and 2 should have been higher on my list?
No, your 3 and 2 should have been higher on my list
Yes. Okay. I would agree with that.
on a
I
normal
mean,
day,
I
but
don't.
I wasn't
Well,
normal last week.
yeah. So, hell, it'll be different. It'll be different next week. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be different next week. But I mean, again, overall, I mean, Goddamn Evil, in my opinion, was just another solid album. I mean, they got ratings on from different people like 8 point. How do you come up with point 0.3? Okay. Instead of saying 8 out of 10 stars, let's do 8.3 out of 10. And so that's just
What?
crazy. And
Do you know
okay,
where this thing it's Billboard's 100?
let me see if I can see that
Because
real
well,
quick.
I'll tell you if you
Oh
don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
hit at it It hit number 22, and I'm just like, "Are you serious that this record would have hit number 22 on Billboard?" It wasn't even like the rock chart or anything like that, it was the Hot 100.
Yeah, this must be needing to be updated then, because this shows the US Billboard that it peaked at number 77.
Well, I looked at it this morning, and it was at it said the peak was 22, but whatever. I mean, I was looking at Wikipedia, so who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at too.
That's funky because I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, because
all
it's
good.
showing US Billboard was 200. The US Billboard 200 was 77. Christian albums 2, independent albums 5, album sales 15, hard rock albums 3, rock albums 6.
That's weird. Not sure where I was getting my data from this morning then, but, then again, I woke up at 4:30 this morning. It's all
And
good.
then and then of course, you have the Japanese editions to this album.
I saw that this morning too.
I mean, you had a Can't Live Without Your Love alternate version, which would be interesting to hear. I haven't played that one before. And then there's a Japanese edition and there's a Japanese tour edition, which also had the Can't Live
Right.
Without Your Love, but it also had Loud and Clear and Come On Rock,
I
the
s I
1983 demos on that.
I saw that. I was like, "Wait, what?" So, yeah, that's
But with track listings, I mean, almost 45 minutes. I mean, that's what I mean, I've never really enjoyed putting on an album that I feel like in 30 minutes it's done. I just was like, "Wait, that's it?" Like, I like albums that are typically 40 plus minutes.
dude, before we started recording, I put on Prince "Sign of the Time," which is a double LP, and I almost listened to the whole thing. It's like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is like 90 minutes," so I had to pull it off, but yeah, I was like, I don't have a problem with the 45-minute CD. I mean, who cares?
Yeah, I know. I mean, neither do I. I don't either. And
I
because I
kinda
mean, the
want
thing is, but you all because see, the thing is, when somebody comes out with an album, and it's like I want more. It's not. It's not. If it's 30 minutes, it's like I want more. But I feel 40-ish, 45 minutes is like I feel like it's good. But then there are albums that I really like, and it's just like over an hour long, like you were saying with the Prince album. There's other albums that I like that are over an hour long, and I don't feel like it's wasted space either. Like they just didn't put a filler on it. So for me, it's like I feel if you get that 40, 45 minutes in an album, I'm not sitting there longing for more because we've talked about this before. The early Van Halen albums, they were 30, 35 minutes. And I always felt like, oh gosh, I want more.
well, it's just the distribution model has changed so much. It's like, oh, we're just gonna release like for Alter Bridge, my favorite band, just released a single on Friday, and I'm like, this is all we got right now. And so and we're going to see them in April, and I hate the distribution model. It's like, just release the album. I mean, it's aggravating, but it is. I mean, it is what it is for young artists now, and I'm like, all right, y'all do what you got to do to get money, and that's fine. But I can't say I'm thrilled with releasing one single every couple weeks.
Yeah,
So
I know. I know.
so
Well, speaking of, I sent this to you yesterday, and we since we talk about them, and since since Michael Sweet and the Sweet Brothers and the band were very influenced by them. 42. Let me say that again. 42 years ago yesterday, which would have been January 9th, 1984. The album 1984 by Van Halen was released. 2 years. And I'm sitting here thinking, I remember you and we were downstairs at my house watching the Jump video, talking
you
about how many times the outfits changed from scene to
changed.
scene to scene. And that just seems like yesterday. How in the world can that be 42 years ago?
Oh my gosh. I'm I remember that actually. I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. We get old and it here's a good story. So I went to my church and I was looking envelopes to send out to I don't even know I can't even remember who we were sending them to. Probably Christian City or something for Christmas card stuff. But we were listening to 1984 the entire time that we were looking those envelopes. So I was 13, but yeah, it's like we get old, stuff ages, and I mean, when I still get stuff on my IG with Eddie Van Halen, I'm just like, oh my god, how am I this old and how is he dead?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you exactly where I was the first time I heard 1984. I was looking Christmas cards or something like that at my church, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, why do we have Van Halen playing at my church? I don't really care, it's cool." But yeah, it's a funky thing sometimes. It's like when I watch a Prince video. Like, I was watching something today, and he was doing, like, a medley, and I'm like, "God, this guy is not alive anymore," and eh, it's a bum the Prince, Chris Cornell, and Eddie, bottom line, the ones that, you know, I still miss, so,
Yeah.
whatever.
I
It
hear you.
is what it is. Do you
But
have any others to add to that list?
no, I just saw that yesterday. Oh, to add to the list of those that have passed?
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, those are my 3, and they probably won't change, so
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
wondering
I
if you
would
had
say Eddie would be there for me, but most of the people that have really, I would say that I've been impacted by, they're still alive.
good for you.
So
I'd probably stick Stevie Ray Vaughan on that list too, but anyway, he's
yeah, the ones that I've been impacted by, but
the younger cats won't know who Stevie Ray Vaughan is, but
I
that's
know
cool.
because he's been gone a long time.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Anyways, all right, so we
Goddamn
can
evil.
and we have the same number 1. That's awesome.
We have we have the same number one. As I teased earlier, next week, Sweet and Lynch album number two. We're gonna dive into that. So make sure you tune in next week because we're gonna go. You'll find out why I actually like that one more than I like the first Sweet and Lynch. And I think Daryl
Yeah, we're
feels the
gonna have
same way.
we're gonna have some opinions on this, I'm sure, yes.
So I'm
I'm
looking.
ac I'm actually gonna see if I can get some comments on what's going on at the atmosphere before we chat again, so we'll
Okay.
see.
Yeah. See what you can find out or what maybe people are saying about that because that was unfortunately it sold out, but so you won't be going
Well, it's
tonight.
just a
But
funky venue for George Lynch to be at, so we'll see what the people have to say. But anyway,
absolutely. And as always, thank you for listening. Episode 19 is a wrap, and we'll be back with you again next week. But thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're listening at, and we appreciate you. And again, make sure to comment if you hear anything that we misspoke about. You want to, if we
suck
were
up.
in wrong at it, if we were in the wrong on something, let us know. Tell us if you like us, don't like us. Any feedback we take and we appreciate. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. And Daryl, hope you have a good week, man.
Yeah, man, you too.
All right. Love you guys.
Love you guys.